All right, welcome to another class for digital marketing by Kartys Digital Academy. Now, as we have completed all the other important terms in the previous classes, so today we'll be starting with another important term, which is SHA encryption. All right, so without any further ado, let's start the class. So, what is SHA encryption? So, SHA stands for Secure Hashing Algorithm, right? Now, what is Secure Hashing Algorithm? So basically, SSL certificate. Now, to make a website secure, we need HTTPS, right? Now, what is the S stand for? S stands for secure, right? Now, how does a website become secure? The website becomes secure if you install SSL certificate. Now, what is this SSL certificate? Now, can anybody install SSL certificate? Yes, if you have a website, if you are owner of a website and you want to make it secure, which you should, you have to buy the SSL certificate from the domain registrar, from where you bought the domains. They will be most likely they'll be able to, offer it to you. Now, there are other areas as well. You can go ahead and buy that too. Okay. Now, well, how does it work? It works in an algorithm. It has an algorithm called SHA. Okay, secure hashing algorithm. Now, based on that technology, the SSL certificate stays valid, and it makes sure that your website is secure. Now, any transaction that your customers do on the website, or any payment gateway that you want to integrate, or anything that you want to do, which you need privacy and data security for your customers' data, you'll have to install SSL certificate, which works on SHA encryption. Now, how does it work? How to install and how to get into the technical side of it? We will do that when we do WordPress development. Okay, so let's moving on to the next one. Now, next one is nothing related to technical. However, it is related to more of a project management. Okay, now in a project, whenever you're starting a project, or if you're imagine you have a business, okay, and you want to inquire, okay, you want to get products from a wholesale dealer, right? So there's something called RFQ. Okay, RFQ stands for a request for quotation. Now, what is a request for quotation? Request for quotation simply refers to the fact that you are requesting a website or a wholesaler or for a quotation. For example, I'll give you an example. You have a showroom, okay, you have a small shop, and you're selling t-shirts, right? Now, you want to contact the manufacturer, okay, directly, and you want to order 10,000 t-shirts. Now, 10,000 t-shirts would be considered a big lot, right? Would be considered a big amount of consignment. Now, 10,000 t-shirts, you want to make sure that you want to buy from the manufacturer, which is the cheapest, correct? So how will you approach them? So in a professional way, what you'll have to do is you have to contact them and send them RFQ, request for quotation. Okay, now what you have to keep in mind is the quotation. For example, you tell you call the manufacturer and you tell them, you know what, I need 10,000 t-shirts, can you please send me your quotation? Okay, so then they will send you an email with all the details of the quality of the t-shirt that they have, and the price per piece, and if you order within this limit, then how much it will cost you, what are the discounts, all that they will send you. Okay, so RFQ is something that needs to be sent by someone. For example, you are asking, I want to buy something from you, right? I'll call you and I'll ask you, can you please send me your quotation? Okay, why I'm asking you the quotation? Because I want to compare your quotation with other quotations that I will receive. Okay, because if I want to buy 10,000 t-shirts, okay, I will not only go to one factory, I might go to 10 factories, and then all the 10 factories will give me quotation, and then based on the quotation that I have received, I will go ahead and find out which one is the cheapest and which one, not cheapest, but then sometimes it might happen the quality wise also. So the decision is yours, right? Whichever you prefer. Now you have received the quotation. So quotation RFQ is, you have to ask RFQ from the supplier. Okay. Now after that, once you have received the quotation, 10 quotations, I have I've decided, okay, I've received 10 quotations. I like one of them. What I'll do is I will send a RFP, request for proposal. I will send my proposal saying that, okay, fine, here's the advance payment. Could you please send it? And then once I've received it, I will go ahead and send it to you, right? So that is called RFP, okay, request for proposal. Now, the next term, very important term that you will come across in your life is SLA. Now, what is SLA? SLA simply stands for the fact that it's an abbreviation for service level agreement. What is service level agreement? Service level agreement refers to the timelines, that you have given to someone to finish the work. Okay, in simple words, right? Now, what are we talking about? Now, for example, you're working as a digital marketing analyst, okay, and you also do website development. Now, what you need to do is you've got a client, okay, and the client says, okay, fine, no problem. Please help me make a website, and then this is how long will you take? And then they have, you send them, because you're providing service, right? So you send them RFQ, okay, and then the client will check the RFQ and he'll say, okay, fine. Then the client will say they will send RFP. Now, along with that, client will also send you an SLA agreement document, okay, SLA document. Now, what is SLA? It's a service level agreement. What is the major concerns about not following SLA? Okay. Now, what is there could be some terms and conditions. Okay. Now, you are the website developer. I've given you my website to be built by you. You told me that you will take 3 weeks to finish it. Okay. Now, first week you have not responded. Second week you have not responded. Third week, when it's supposed to be delivered, you have not delivered. Okay. So that will be considered a breach of SLA. Okay. So at that time, the client can, make sure, can penalize you for that. Okay. Can give fines, because what you have promised, you have not delivered. The client might have lost money. Okay. Client might have lost a very valuable time. Okay. In terms of customer acquisition, in terms of product launching, in terms of a lot of things, right? So in professional world, what happens is there is always something called SLA. Now, you have to maintain SLA at all costs, because the client will ask you, how long will you take? Okay. So it's up to you to tell them, you know what, it will not take 3 weeks. It might take 3 months. Okay. Now, okay, the client will say, fine, no problem. 3 months. And then in the SLA, it's a written document that you have to sign and give it to them, that I will finish the work, and then while the work is getting updated, I will also send you work in progress report. Okay. What is a progress? I will make sure that I'll keep on informing you every week as to what is happening. Okay. So the client will say, fine, no problem. Client will also ask you, okay, could you do me a favor? Could you please also mention if there is any issues beforehand. Okay. Now, for example, let's say you're working on a project, and then all of a sudden you've fallen ill, right? And then you didn't inform the client. How does the client supposed to know that you're fallen ill and then you're not able to do the project, right? The client is always in the dark, right? So at that time, the client will penalize you for SLA breach. Why? Because you haven't even informed them. So it is your responsibility, being a professional, it is your responsibility to go ahead and keep the client informed at all times. If you're not able to finish your work, you have to tell them way advance that, you know what, this is the reason why I'm not able to finish it. Give me some more time. Okay. That is one. Second thing, what if, the client, you've taken a project, you have breached the SLA, and then there is a fine, and then you just completely ignore all that, and what happens? The client will also blacklist you. Okay, which means in future they will never work with you, and also they will tell in their network not to work with your company or your organization or you as a freelancer. So is it good for you or for your business? No, right? So you have to make sure that you take SLA very, very seriously whenever you're working on any project. Now, SLA is not limited to only working on directly with client. SLA also is relevant when you're working in a office environment where you're working on a live project. Now, somebody gives you a project and somebody tells you the timelines. You have to make sure that you finish that work within that timeline. If there is anything which is stopping you to do that, you have to let them know and you have to tell them that this is the reason why it is not getting completed. However, this is the plan in place and this is what we have to do, and this will get that done, right? I'll keep you informed. So SLA, your boss gives you some work, okay, your project requires you to do some certain activities, then there is supposed to be an SLA to it. Okay, all the project managers, they will always assign SLA to the work. Okay, and when you accept the work and then you start working, you have to follow that work, right? And you have to follow the timelines. Is it clear, SLA? If any questions on SLA?
No, sir.
Okay, no problem. Then we'll go ahead and move to the next one. Now, SLA going forward, we will always, whenever from now onwards, the next class onwards, whenever we do project, I will also assign you SLA. Okay, so it will be a 24-hour SLA or 72 hours SLA or whatever it is, and you have to make sure that you finish that work, and then you have to keep informing what is the progress. Okay, there's something called WIP, work in progress report. Okay, so there will be terms and conditions. Okay, how often you should send and all that, it will be written in the document. Okay, now sometimes if the project is very small, it's only 24-hour work, then the SLA, the WIP report can be every 6 hours. Okay, what have you done every 6 hours? Okay, now you have to send the report to the management, right? If the project is for, let's say, 72 hours, you might have to send a report every 24 hours. Okay, to tell them, okay, this is a work in progress, this is what I've done, and this is what stage 1 or stage 2, and we are working on it. After that, what is the next? If, for example, if it's a longer project, if it's a month-wise project, then again you have to give them SLA based on the timelines. Okay, so SLA will be discussed, and the timelines of reporting and the work in progress reporting will be informed well in advance, so that it's very clear between the client and the person who's doing it. All right. Okay, going to the next one, scripting. Now, scripting is a very common word that you will come across. Okay, scripting is something that we must use when you're working on website development. Okay, now scripting is basically a code snippet. Okay, wherever website developers, they build, software developers or software engineers, they will write a code for your particular website and they'll give it to you, and you just have to embed them. Okay, now software development is something which is not a part of your work. Okay, you're only a digital marketing executive. Software development team or the technical developers, they will create scripts and they will send it to you for integration, right? However, how to use scripts, how to identify what are the errors, how to integrate them, how to embed them in your website, how to embed the HTML code, and the basics of HTML we will cover later on when we do website development and HTML. Okay, great. Going forward, we have EAT, EAT. Now, EAT is one of the most important concept, or one of the most important digital marketing fundamentals that you must understand. Okay, and throughout your career in digital marketing, you will always be updated with EAT. Now, what is EAT stands for? Now, EAT stands for eagerness, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Now, EAT is defined by Google. It also keeps on updating. Okay, every time now, I think they have added another T, or they've added another A to it. Okay, attributes. Okay, So it's EAAT. Okay, so basically these are a set of guidelines given by Google on how to rank your website on top of Google search engine. Okay, now these guidelines keep on updating. The guidelines are something that you have to every day read or at least be informed about it. Okay, now what is eagerness, what is authoritativeness, and what is trustworthiness? Now let me give you an example. Okay, of a website. Okay, now you are the owner of a website, you have a website development team, and you develop website. Fair enough. The client comes and says, you know what, I want you to make a website and put it on top of the search engine. Okay, now the moment people search something related to my work, my website should come in the first page. Then you will tell them, okay, there's something called EAT. We will follow all the guidelines which is in EAT. Okay, now magically it doesn't happen that overnight the website is ranked on top, right? It doesn't happen that way. It's a long process, it's a continuous process. It might take 6 months, it might take 1 year as well. Okay, it's a continuous process of learning, it's a continuous process of understanding how Google ranks all the websites, right? Now what is eagerness? Eagerness in terms of understanding your web content. Okay, for example, you are an electronic website. Okay, you have an electronic shop, you have created website. Now you keep on updating everything related to electronics on your website or on your blog, and you keep on publishing, and there are certain people who keep on following it. Okay, there's an organic traffic which is being created with the level of content that you are publishing, right? Now what happens is, if you become so that's when what happens is your website becomes more and more popular, right? So what happens, the Google crawlers will now know the eagerness of you sharing the information is higher, right? Or eagerness in that topic that you are putting the information is high, so they'll give you 1 point for that. Okay, now what is authoritativeness? Authoritativeness is, for example, you're an electronics company, right? Now you have a website, you are specialized in one type of electronic, let's say computer hardware electronics. Okay, now none of the other websites, they're giving in-depth details about the products and services, but you are the one who's keep giving in-depth information, right? So what you are doing is you are creating authoritativeness on that particular subject. Okay, so all we have to do is we have to make sure that we create content in such a way that we create authority over it. What does that mean? Now you must have noticed, okay, that whenever you go to certain website and you want to find something, okay, like for example you want to find out the latest discounts, okay, there'll be some website which will come up, and then you trust those websites inherently. Okay, you say, okay, this website keeps on coming, and it looks good, it feels good, and the information that they're providing is also correct, is very accurate, so you trust that website. That is called authoritative. So basically what they have done is they've created authority. Now you have an electronics website, you're writing everything about electronics, you're very up to date, and other companies, other websites are also mentioning you, okay, your website. When I say you, your website, in their websites or in their blogs, okay, saying that what, the information has been received by so and so websites. Okay, now what happens, they know that you have the authority over this topic. That is why they are referring to you. For example, if I write a book, okay, about any topic, let's say I'm writing a book about computer science, okay, and I've done the thorough research and I've written a new technology. Okay, others who are writing a blog, they will take information, a couple of lines, excerpts from my websites, right, and my book, and then they will publish it in their website or blog, right? And then they have to mention that they have gotten this particular line or this topic or this knowledge from this website, from my website. What happens? then my website becomes the authoritative website. Okay, because I'm the one who's the main person who's giving that information, right? So it's very important to have authoritativeness in your website. You have to strive for it. Okay, how to do that? By becoming best at the niche, the one of the best, you are where you are best at. Okay, the niche, you can select any particular niche. Now you can be very good at computer, you can be very good at clothes, you can be very good at fashion, you can be very good at makeup products, you can anything. Okay, so what you can do is you can keep on creating content, write about content, you can keep on telling about the products and services, the uses, the benefits to the users. What happens eventually, you will create authority over that subject. Okay, now you must have noticed when when you're good at something, people will come to you and they will ask you, okay, you know what, since you're expert in this field, can you please help me with this, right? Why? Because you have the authority. Same concept in the website. When you have the authority established, that's when you have the authoritativeness. Now Google will give you 1 point extra for authoritativeness. Okay, now let's move on to trustworthiness. Now what is trustworthiness? Again, as compared to authoritativeness, trustworthiness is very similar. Okay, trustworthiness simply refers to the fact that how trustworthy your content is on a website. For example, if you are expert in some product, okay, or some technology or some skill, people will come to you, right? People will come to you. Why? Because you have the authority, you know the knowledge. But people also will come to you because they can trust you with that subject, right? It's sometimes it might happen that you might have the knowledge, but they cannot trust you whether it's accurate knowledge or not. Okay, so same goes with websites. Now all the websites are giving information. It might happen that the website information that you're giving, you're actually not giving the latest update. Okay, so people don't trust your website that much. I mean, they look at the website, but then they don't trust it to the level that you want. Why? Because they might think that the content you have put is not the latest information about the technology or the product that you're putting, or the information that you're publishing is not the latest information, right? So at that time, the trustworthiness factor, people might feel little hesitant, okay, to trust your website completely. Okay, now for example, I'll give you an example. You people usually trust Google with the right information, right? When you search something, you know for sure Google will give the answer, right? It'll never happen that you search on Google about football and then it comes about entertainment, right? It'll never happen. Why? Because that's how trustworthy it is, right? So you inherently trust, okay, Google with providing correct information, correct? Similarly, in your website, when you start building the trust of the people of Google crawlers, what happens is Google will identify that, Google algorithm will identify that, and Google will rank you on the trustworthiness. Okay, so EAT, when you have eagerness, authoritativeness, trustworthiness, when you have all 3 pointers in your bag, what will happen is your website will get ranked higher and higher and higher. Okay, that is something that it happens throughout. Okay, it keeps on, it's a continuous process. It's not that once you have ranked higher and you stop all the activities. No, the moment you do that, again your rank will be gone. Okay, your website will be nowhere, right? So it's a continuous process, as I said. So to rank top on Google page, it's a continuous process. What is the process? First, it's EAT. So now you can tell the client, we will follow EAT, eagerness, trustworthiness, and authoritativeness and trustworthiness. And you tell them that, this process might take up to 6 months, it might take 1 year. We will develop the website, we'll keep on updating your content every week, and then we will keep on writing more about this topic. I will take information from you because you're the expert, and then we will create the content and then we'll publish it. What we have to do is we have to establish the trust of Google as well as people. Okay, once we have established the trust, the eagerness, the authoritativeness, then automatically the ranking will slowly improve. Okay, now that is one of the factors. That's not the only factor. Okay, there are other factors we will discuss further. Any questions on EAT?
No, sir.
Okay, so in future, when we are developing websites, at that time I will show you practical how to make sure that EAT fundamentals are maintained properly. Okay, Now, going to the next important term, it's web scraping. Now, web scraping is basically you going to another website and taking out the information from there. Okay. Now, there are a lot of tools available. Scraping, sometimes if you do too much, that's again not allowed by Google. Okay, so you have to be a little careful. And whenever website allows, you can scrape those websites. You can download the information, you can copy paste them. If the website does not allow, then you might not do that. Okay, or might not be able to do that. So web scraping is basically taking out information from one website and using it. Okay, now there are a lot of tools. Which are the tools, how to use them, we will discuss that later on. Okay, moving forward to instant data scraper. So instant data scraper is the name of the tool, okay, which allows web scraping. So instant data scraper is used for other purposes as well. Now, when we use live practical development and the content development, at that time I'll show you how to use web scraping and how to use those tools to get the information faster from other websites, okay, and then analyze it and prepare your own report and prepare your own content. Okay, so we will discuss that later. Now, any questions on till now?
No, sir.
Okay, great. Now let's move on to the next topic, which is very important. Okay, which is a new product life cycle. Okay, now this you will come across your life in your career a lot. Okay, now whenever you work for a company, let's say it's a service company or a product company, most 90% of the chances would be that you're working for a product company. Okay, like in the, where they sell products. Okay, now it might happen that you're working in a product based company as a startup, and you might have to take on more responsibilities. Okay, because since it's a startup, you have multiple hats to wear, right? Now at that time it becomes absolutely empirical to understand the value of product life cycle, the fundamentals, to understand the value of what is product life cycle all about. Okay, now what is product life cycle? Now let me give you the information with a basic understanding of how a business is started, business is promoted or business is commenced, right? The first, if I have to run a business, now let's say I'll give you an example. Okay, you want to start a business. Okay, you have a factory. Okay, now the first thing what you'll do to get the digital marketing activity started. Now you are a manufacturer, you have a factory, you're manufacturing, let's say, clothes, okay, t-shirts. Now you are manufacturing t-shirts, so that means you have a factory, you have machinery, you have people, you have raw materials, you have everything done already, right? Now all you need is digital marketing. Why? You want to attract new customers. Now the first thing what you'll do is you will go ahead and create a website, right? That's the first thing. Why? Because you're doing digital marketing. The first thing that you need is a website. Why? A web presence is a basic building block for the entire digital marketing activities, right? So the first thing you will do, website development. Now you create a website. Okay, now you have a live website which talks about your products and services, which talks about the history of the product, which talks about what we have been doing and all that, right? The next is you will create social media accounts, right? Why? Because you want to now post your t-shirts on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all that, right? So you will promote your activities, like you promote your products and services that you're providing on social media. Okay, the third part of this digital life cycle is after you've created a ad, what happens? Okay, like for example, post, not ad. After you've created the post, now you want to boost the post so that it can reach many more people, right? At that time, you have to create digital ads, Instagram ad or Facebook ad or Twitter ad or LinkedIn ad, whatever ad, right? So you have to create an ad to reach more audience, right? So the next important step in the life cycle is digital ad, creating a digital ad. Okay, now once you've created the digital ad, what is the purpose of you creating an ad? why you're doing all this, why you're creating a website, why you're promoting it on social media, why you're posting your your content, you're posting your product photographs on social media, why you're paying money to social media channels to put an ad, why you're doing all that. Because ultimately you want sales, you want people to buy, correct? So now you have created an Instagram post, you have boosted the post by paying Instagram, it has reached 50,000 people. Out of 50,000, 1,000 people liked it and they want to buy it. When they click on the link, it gets redirected to your website and then they end up buying. So that process is called sales. So ultimately, the next very important part of product lifecycle is sales, right? Where you have to sell your product. Okay. The third is customer experience. Now, as a business owner, you have created the factory. You've done so much of hard work. You've also taken all the right steps in terms of digital marketing. You've created website. You've promoted social media. You've created ads. You've done the sales. But you forgot to do customer service. What customer experience, so to speak? What does it mean? People are buying your product, but when there's some problem with the product, you're not responding. Okay, so what will happen? You will jeopardize your own reputation on social media. Why? People will start commenting, people will start giving ratings for your product, people will start talking about you in social media, saying that this product, this company has not returned or does not provide customer experience. So what will happen? All the hard work that you have done, okay, it will go down the drain, right? So it's very important. The last bit of the last but very important part of product lifecycle is customer experience. How good is the experience? Okay, we also call it after sales experience, right? So once you buy a product, if you have any problem, do you have the right mechanism? Do you have the right way? Do you have the right techniques to handle them? Right now, do you have a return policy? Do you have cash on delivery? Do you have exchange policy? Okay, all these things you have to keep in mind, right? So as a product life cycle expert, you will have to understand each and every concept very well, right? Now in digital marketing, everything is included. Website development is included, social media included, digital ads included, sales is included, customer experience is included. Now what is sales? When I say sales is included, you don't have to sell anything, right? However, you have to make sure that all the links for sales, like on your website, when people click on buy, it should work, right? The payment gateway should be integrated properly. They should feel very happy, or they should be able to navigate through the website very quickly. Okay, so that is something that you have to make sure that it's is there, right? So that's exactly how you will have to figure out your particular life cycle, the understanding of your life cycle. Okay, now any questions on product life cycle?
Yes, sir.
Great. Okay, so let's talk about the launch. Okay, so launch of a new product or existing product life cycle, they are exactly the same. Now for example, you have a factory which is 10 years old. Okay, now when you have a factory which is 10 years old, doesn't mean that you don't have to do all this when you're launching a new product. Okay, your factory may be 10 years old, your company may be 10 years old, but the product is new. You have launched a new t-shirt, which is, let's say you have launched a product which is new polo t-shirts, okay, with the latest trend and the latest design, right? But the product is new, right? So again, for a new product also, you have to keep in mind all these things. You might have to create an extra page on your existing website, or you have to create a new website altogether. You have to create social media content and you have to promote it on social media. You still have to put ads, you still have to do sales, you still have to do customer experience as an owner, right? So so product launch and the product life cycle, they're same, okay, almost same. Okay, any questions? If there are no questions, we'll move forward. Now, what is negative SEO? Now you have understood, EAT, you have understood product lifecycle, you have understood the importance of creating eagerness, trustworthiness, and authoritativeness, right? Now, if there's something called negative SEO, okay? Now there are ways to make sure that you do, stuff which can, trick the algorithm of Google. But is it allowed to do that? No, right? Because no matter what you do, okay, Google will ultimately, Google algorithm will find out. Okay, for example, you are creating posts, okay, and then I'll give you a very simple example. Okay, uh, the you are trying to, harm your competitor. Okay, by defaming the competitor, by saying that, what, this particular website is, they are giving incorrect information, and you're putting the website link, and you're, telling people not to click on this link, and this is bad, and this and that, right? So that is something which is where you're trying to defame your competitor. So that goes against the guidelines of Google. Okay, so that you will be marked down. Okay, now when you're creating backlinks, okay, what are backlinks? When you're linking to a website, okay, and that website, you're creating a spam backlink, okay, that is also against Google guidelines. Okay, now you're trying to, you know HTML coding, you have created codes, okay, which will, which will, overload the website. Coding, and you've created that program malware, and you have tried to send it to your website, competitor's website. You have trying to inject that malware or something like that, okay, the code. So is it allowed at that time? No, it's not allowed, right? You are trying to copy the entire content from your competitor's website and paste it as your own. Is it allowed? No, not allowed. Okay, you're trying to manipulate Google search engine, okay, into thinking that your target, you're getting a lot of target web traffic from the target audience. Okay, by how? By you yourself are clicking on the website 1,000 times a day. Okay, or you have created a program which automatically opens up the website, closes it, opens the website, closes it, opens the website, closes it. Okay, there are programs that you can create like that, and you have created. But is it something that Google will not recognize? It will. Do you think that Google will not penalize you? It will, right? So that is, all these bad practices, unethical practices, are absolutely frowned upon, okay, and are not allowed by Google. Okay, and Google's search engine strictly discourages any actions like that. Okay, and then what they will do is, they'll first of all give you a negative rank. Okay, second of all, it might ban you. Okay, so you'll not, your website will be there on Google, but it will be on the last page, where you'll be not getting any traffic. So what will happen? Eventually you will be losing out on the opportunities which a positive or white hat SEO can provide you. Okay, negative SEO is also called as black hat. Okay, any questions on that? If there are no questions, we'll move forward. Then the next one is Google Ads certification, Microsoft Ads Professional, Facebook Blueprint, okay, and AdWords certification. So basically, these are the certifications, as I was telling you in the beginning, that these certifications are important, okay, and it is absolutely relevant to the current job market. Okay, the more certifications you have in your LinkedIn profile, the better chances of you getting recognized. Not necessarily that you'll get a job. You still have to give the interview, you still have to explain, you still have to tell them that, how good you are with your skills. So to validate those skills are the certifications. Right now, these certifications are provided by Google for free of cost. Okay, and I have given the link in the certifications tab, and I would encourage all of the students to go ahead and finish the certification. Now, these certifications might take time, okay, but it's very intuitive. You just have to watch a video, a couple of few minutes video, and then there'll be quiz, and then you answer the questions, and then watch the video. and once you've finished the course, at the end you'll have certain questions, and you can go ahead and answer them very easily. And then at the end of the day, you will be able to get a certification from Google, Microsoft, and Facebook, right? So I would encourage all of you to go ahead and start doing certifications and publishing them on LinkedIn, which will enhance your chances of getting noticed. Okay. All right. So any questions till now? What we have covered? Okay. So if there are no questions, so what we will do is we will end our session here. Okay. And I wish you all the best for the next class, and then I wish you happy learning. What I request you is go through all the things that we have discussed today, okay, in details, and then research about it and learn more about it, and then we'll catch up in the next class. All right, thank you so much and happy learning. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye.